NUMSA president speaks on the state of labor unions, and Western nations circulate a draft sanction on Syria. Good morning, I am Utsile Saku. President of Trade Union NUMSA, Cedric Gina, says he's not satisfied by the state of labor unions in South Africa. He was speaking at the launch of a book entitled Metal That Will Not Bend at Wits University. The book focuses on NUMSA before and after apartheid and has been written by editor of the South African Labour Bulletin, Callie Forrest. Gina says he would be happy if all unions could unite to serve the interests of the workers.
If they have learnt enough, then it was going to mean that the 2003 COSATU resolution on the 2015 plan would have been fully implemented. As a labour movement, we were supposed to unite ourselves into one federation. We were supposed to achieve 4 million members by 2010. We were 2 million when we went to the 2010 Congress.
Talks aimed at ending the 2-week-long municipal workers' strike will continue this morning. However, Workers' Union SAMU has expressed concern at what it says is the employer's lack of eagerness to resolve the strike. SAMU says it has reduced its demand substantially from the initial demand of 18%, while the employer body SALGA is still sticking to its offer of 6.08%. SAMU's General Secretary Mthandeki Nhlapo.
We don't read the employer's eagerness to resolve the issue, because in terms of having to ensure that there is a genuine engagement on this matter, there is similar approach that took us to strike still emerging.
South Africa's ambassador to Uganda, John Qwelane, will wait until the 1st of next month to hear whether his application for a rescission of a default judgment by the Equality Court is successful or not. In June, Qwelane was found guilty of hate speech following an article he penned in a weekend newspaper in which he expressed his opinion on gays. The Human Rights Commission deemed the article titled "Call Me Names But Gay Is Not Okay" hate speech and approached the Equality Court, which ordered Qwelane to apologize through the newspaper and pay the commission 100,000 rand. Tsapo Pahane has the details.
Qwelane's lawyer, George Kairinos, argued that the Equality Court had exceeded its jurisdiction by granting the default judgment. He says the default judgment was granted during a directions hearing called by the Equality Court to determine how the inquiry will proceed. Kairinos says Qwelane will fight any action against him and that he has no intention to apologize. He's even prepared to take the matter to the Constitutional Court. The Human Rights Commission argued that the Equality Court had a jurisdiction to grant the default judgment even in the absence of a respondent. Tsapo Pahane, SABC News.
A search is underway to find Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi. His whereabouts are still unknown. Speaking on a local Tripoli radio station, Gaddafi pledged martyrdom or victory in the fight against NATO and the Libyan rebels, and saying his reason to leave his compound was a tactical move. Gaddafi also said that his compound was destroyed by 64 NATO airstrikes. National Transitional Council spokesperson Ahmed Jabril says it's only a matter of time before Gaddafi is arrested.
There is some information that indicates he's still in Tripoli. Some other people are saying he might have left the capital towards the south. I think the issue now is not where Gaddafi is, it's about when he will be arrested. Gaddafi, in our view, is no longer the leader of the country. He's a fugitive and he must be arrested as soon as possible.
Western nations on the UN Security Council have circulated a draft sanction resolution on Syria. The move follows the release of a UN report that suggested Damascus may be guilty of crimes against humanity. The BBC's Barbara Plett reports.
Last week, Western states said the Syrian President Bashar al-Assad should step down. Now they've circulated a draft Security Council resolution calling for targeted sanctions against him and members of his ruling circle. The resolution has been given urgency by a UN report documenting serious human rights violations carried out by the Syrian government, which could constitute crimes against humanity. But Russia, a heavyweight member of the Council and a staunch ally of President Assad, says it doesn't see the need to go beyond a Council statement issued earlier this month, which condemns the violence in Syria.
Recapping the top story, President of Trade Union NUMSA, Cedric Gina, says he's not satisfied by the state of labor unions in South Africa.